Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this explosive breakdown of one of the most talked about moments in daytime television history, the shocking live eruption of Adam Sandler on The View that sent shockwaves across social media and left audiences gasping in disbelief. Picture this, it's a crisp September morning in 2025, the studio lights beaming down on the iconic round table where the queens of chatter hold court, and in struts Adam Sandler, the king of comedy himself. Fresh off promoting his latest Netflix smash hit, a heartfelt dramedy about family redemption that's already topping charts worldwide. At 59, Sandler looks every bit the evergreen fun-monic casual button-down shirt untucked over jeans, that signature scruffy beard framing a grin that's disarmed audiences from Billy Madison to Uncut Gems, his eyes twinkling with the kind of self-deprecating charm that's made him a billionaire mogul and box office eternal. The crowd erupts in applause as he takes his seat between Whoopi Goldberg and Sunny Hostin, exchanging quick hugs and laughs, the air buzzing with anticipation for what should be a light-hearted chat about his career pivot from slapstick to serious acclaim, his upcoming stand-up special, and maybe a few zingers about his golf obsession or his bromance with Judd Apatow. But oh, how quickly the tide turns in the unpredictable waters of live TV, where one offhand comment can ignite a firestorm. As the segment kicks off, Whoopi, ever the gracious moderator, dives in with praise for Sandler's evolution, asking how fatherhood to his two daughters, Sadie and Sunny, has deepened his roles in films like That's My Boy and now this new emotional powerhouse. Sandler chuckles, launching into a warm anecdote about late-night script revisions inspired by his kids' unfiltered honesty, the audience cooing in delight, the vibe pure and promotional gold. Enter Joy Behar, the 83-year-old Firebrand co-host whose razor-sharp wit and unapologetic liberalism have made her a polarizing icon for over 3 decades on the show. Her red hair perfectly coiffed, glasses perched like a judge's gavel, ready to lob her signature hot takes. Joy's been on a roll lately, fresh from viral clips sparring with guests over everything from vaccine mandates to election fallout. Her no-nonsense style earning her die-hard fans and fierce critics in equal measure. Today, she's eyeing Sandler with that trademark squint, the one that says she's got questions brewing beneath the surface, perhaps fueled by recent headlines about Hollywood's woke reckoning or Sandler's apolitical public persona that's always sidestepped the culture wars. As Sandler wraps his family story, Joy leans in, microphone poised like a sword, and drops the bomb. Adam, we love your movies, but let's get real. Don't you think Hollywood's too soft on guys like you who make these bro comedies that objectify women? I mean, come on, Waterboy was hilarious. But those jokes? They're from another era, and in 2025, we can't keep laughing at that stuff. The studio falls into a stunned hush, the audience shifting uncomfortably as Sandler's easy smile freezes, his eyes narrowing just a fraction. The first crack in the facade, Whoopi tries to pivot with a laugh, Joy, always keeping it spicy. But the damage is done. Sandler's not one to back down from a punchline, even when it's aimed at him, and you can see the wheels turning behind those comedic eyes, years of being the butt of jokes now flipping the script in his mind. This isn't just a quip, it's a direct challenge to his legacy, lumping him in with dinosaurs of comedy while ignoring his growth into nuanced storyteller. And in that moment, the air thickens with tension, the cameras zooming in on every micro-expression, capturing the raw humanity of a star pushed to his limit. Little does the world know, this innocuous jab is the spark that lights the powder keg, propelling what starts as a promo spot into a viral maelstrom of outrage, memes, and midnight monologues that redefine celebrity accountability in the age of TikTok takedowns. As the applause dies down and the hosts settle, Joy sips her coffee with a smug satisfaction, unaware she's just poked the bear, or in this case, the Happy Gilmore, right in the ribs, setting the stage for an eruption that will echo from New York studios to global feeds, proving once again that in the arena of public discourse, no one's punchline is safe. And as Sandler adjusts in his seat, forcing a chuckle that's a beat too late, the countdown to chaos begins, tick-tocking toward the moment when restraint shatters and raw emotion takes the wheel, turning a Tuesday taping into television's most dissected dust-up since the great Roseanne reboot. But hold on, Because before we dive deeper into the blow-by-blow, let's rewind a bit to understand why this clash was inevitable. A perfect storm of generational gaps, comedy's shifting sands, and Joy's relentless pursuit of the truth that often leaves feathers ruffled and egos bruised. Sandler's career, after all, is a testament to resiliency. From SNL breakout in the 90s with bits like the operatic "They're All Gonna Laugh at You" to directing hits like Punch Drunk Love, he's navigated flops like Jack and Jill with the grace of a pro golfer sinking a putt under pressure, always bouncing back with self-funded Netflix deals that keep him independent and adored. Joy, on the other hand, rose from stand-up circuits to view dominance, her book deals and solo specials cementing her as the voice of feisty feminism, unafraid to call out icons from Bill O'Reilly to her own co-hosts when they veer off script. Their worlds colliding? It's like mixing oil and vinegar, hilarious in theory, explosive in practice. Yeah, and as the conversation meanders toward Sandler's new film's themes of forgiveness, Joy circles back, her tone sharpening. Forgiveness is great, Adam, but what about accountability? You've joked about everything from bodily functions to bad bosses, but have you ever really addressed how those early sketches perpetuated stereotypes that hurt women and minorities? The question hangs heavy, the other hosts exchanging glances, Sarah Haynes nodding thoughtfully, Anna Navarro stifling a sip of water while the audience murmurs, some applauding Joy's boldness, others whispering support for Sandler's right to evolve without eternal audit. Sandler, ever the improviser, starts with humor. Joy, if I apologized for every fart joke, I'd need a time machine back to '95. But seriously, I've grown. The industry's grown, and we're all trying to do better without canceling the fun. Laughter ripples, tension easing momentarily, but Joy isn't buying it. Her follow-up, a dagger, fun at whose expense? Adam? That's the question Hollywood needs to answer, and you're dodging it like one of your characters dodging alimony. And there it is, the line crossed. The personal prod that turns playful banter into pointed accusation. Sandler's jaw clenching as he sets down his water bottle with a deliberate thud, the sound amplified in the studio's microphones like a gavel falling. In that instant, the dynamic shifts from interview to interrogation, the promotional fluff giving way to a raw reckoning that no one's prepped for, not the producers in the booth scrambling for commercial breaks, not the social media team monitoring hashtags that are already spiking with #Sandler versus Joy. As the cameras roll on, capturing every bead of sweat on Sandler's brow and every arch of Joy's eyebrow, we witness the unraveling of civility in real time, a microcosm of broader cultural battles where comedy's kings face off against critique's queens, and the fallout promises to be as entertaining as it is enlightening. But let's not rush ahead, savor the build-up, the subtle cues of the way Sonny tries to interject with a question about Sandler's golf handicap to diffuse, only for Joy to wave it off with a no. Let's stay on point because this slow burn is what makes the explosion so cathartic, so shareable, turning passive viewers into active commentators overnight. By now, clips are leaking to insiders, whispers of "did she really go there?" buzzing in group chats from LA agents to NYC editors, the internet's hive mind already forming opinions before the full segment even airs. Sandler, drawing from his well of character work, I think The Quiet Rage of Barry and Punch Drunk Love, he holds it together for another exchange, praising the view's longevity and Joy's trailblazing role, but his words carry an edge, a veiled "I've got your number" that hints at the storm brewing beneath the surface. Joy, sensing the shift but mistaking it for discomfort, doubles down. Trailblazing? Honey, I'm just calling it like I see it. A comedy should punch up, not down, and your catalog's got more downs than an elevator in a Sandler flick. The audience titters nervously, Whippy signaling for a cut to break, but it's too late. The Rubicon is crossed, and as the show cuts to ads with forced cheer, back in the green room, Sandler's team is huddled, debating pullouts, while Joy high-fives a producer, oblivious to the viral volcano about to erupt upon return. And when they do return, oh boy, the temperature's risen 10 degrees, Sandler's posture straighter, his laugh absent, ready to reclaim the narrative in a way that no one's expecting, least of all the woman who's made a career out of never backing down. This is the prelude to pandemonium, the chess moves before checkmate, and as we dissect it frame by frame, it's clear, This wasn't trend, it was ripe, rotten with the fruits of fame's fragile fruit, where one woman's truth serum meets one man's comedic armor, and the clash creates fireworks that light up the cultural sky. So lean in, because the eruption is just beginning, a testament to why live TV remains the ultimate unscripted thrill ride, where heroes become heels and punchlines pack a punch harder than any scripted drama. Fast forward through the commercial break, hearts pounding in the control room as producers pray for de-escalation. But when the cameras hot back up, the set feels like a gladiatorial arena, spotlights harsher, audience hushed in anticipation of round 2, and there sits Adam Sandler, no longer the affable guest but a coiled spring of restrained fury, his fingers drumming the table edge like the opening bars to a diss track yet unwritten. Whippy, sensing the seismic shift, attempts a bridge. "All right, Adam, let's talk." Laughs. "So what's the wildest fan story from your Happy Gilmore days?" It's a lifeline tossed into choppy waters, but Joy Behar, ever the current disruptor, snatches it away with a scoff that's pure theater, her voice slicing through like a late-night monologue setup. "Fan stories? Please, Adam, before we reminisce, address the elephant. Your films have been accused of everything from fat-shaming to casual sexism, and in this post-#MeToo world, isn't it time for a real reckoning instead of recycling the same old tropes?" The words land like a sucker punch, the studio erupting in a mix of gasps and scattered claps, divided loyalties turning the crowd into a live poll, while co-host Anna Navarro winces visibly, mouthing oath to Sarah Haynes, who busies herself with notes to avoid the fray. Sandler, drawing deep from the well of his dramatic chops, honed in roles like the grieving husband in 50 First Dates or the hustler in Hustily, pauses, the silence stretching taut as a bowstring, then unleashes not with volume but with velocity, his voice low and laced with that Brooklyn edge that served him from SNL sketches to serious soliloquies. "Joy, with all due respect, and I mean that, because you've been killing it on this show longer than I've been making movies, but you're sitting there judging my life's work like it's a court transcript, ignoring how I've donated millions to women's health, how my productions hire diverse crews, how I've evolved because fans like you called me out years ago. But this feels like gotcha TV, not conversation, and I'm not here to be your pi a tilde plus minus ata for ratings." The delivery is masterful, a part Bobby Boucher naivety, part Donnie Darko intensity, his eyes locking onto Joy's with a stare that's equal parts hurt and heat, the audience leaning forward as if magnetized, whispers turning to whoops from Sandler supporters in the back rows. Joy, unflinching as ever, her career built on batting back barbs from Barbara Walters to Bill Maher, fires right back, her Italian firecracker heritage fueling a retort that's half laugh, half lash. "Gotcha TV, Adam, honey, this is accountability to have been the pi a tilde plus minus auto for conservatives calling me a libtard for decades, so spare me the victim card. Your movies made bank on belittling women, own it, apologize publicly, or keep dodging like Billy Madison flunking history." The escalation is electric, words flying faster than confetti at a premiere, the other hosts now fully engaged, Sonny Hostin jumping in with Joy, "Let's give him space to respond," while Whoopi pounds the table lightly, "Whoa, let's keep it civil, folks." But it's futile, the dams burst, and Sandler's not done, rising slightly from his seat, voice amplifying to fill the studio. "Apologize for making people laugh in a world that's already too damn serious? Joy, you've got no idea the nights I spent rewriting scripts to cut the crap, listening to my wife Jackie call out the BS, because yeah, I got it wrong sometimes, but I'm not the villain in your narrative. This show's about views, not vendettas, and if you can't see that, maybe it's time we all take a beat." The outburst hangs in the air, raw and ragged, Sandler's chest heaving under the lights, the first